Secretary Buttigieg.
Sorry, can I get a little bit more of a gloss on your work? I'm just interested to know what it means to examine equity in bridge maintenance.
Looking at the communities next to bridges and comparing that with their condition.
I'm shocked by how controversial it was when I made reference to the simple fact that a lot of black neighborhoods got wiped out by the way highways were built. We've got a crisis when it comes to roadway fatalities in America. We lose about 40,000 people every year. It's a level that's comparable to gun violence. And we see a lot of racial disparities. Black and brown Americans, tribal citizens, and rural residents much more likely to lose their lives, whether it's in a car or as a pedestrian being hit by a car. There are a lot of reasons related to discrimination.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious!
Related to even the ways that roads are designed and built. Who has access to a safe street design that's got crosswalks and good lighting? And who doesn't have that access? That can drive disparities. And I didn't bring that up because I want everybody to feel bad about it. I brought it up because we can do something about it, because we have funding to do something about it with. I mean, the Hill District right here in Pittsburgh is one of thousands of examples around the country. Hopefully everybody here knows that anything you can buy today, you have to have your eyes on the road and your hands on the wheel. I won't ask you whether you always do, but you should. I don't care what they call it. There's some interesting branding out there. Eyes on the road, hands on the wheel. Yeah. So now there's a whole wave of technology to save you from the technology. Right? When I went to the auto show, they were showing me all the things that the car does. How many of you have had your car tell you you're not paying enough attention? There's no shame in it, right? Yeah, me too. The little coffee cup comes up, right? It's like, hey, hands on the wheel. That's good. I'm glad the car's telling you that because I'm not in there to whisper it into your ear, right? But it shows you how complicated this journey is, right? In theory, we're getting to a nirvana on the other end where we end the murderous track record of human drivers and save tens of thousands of lives a year. But right at the level we're in, it's like medieval medicine. Like we're just barely making sure the treatment is worse than what it's treating, right? Getting to the next level of that, that's what's exciting to me.
You will use an app like Uber, but not anymore to call some driver, but an automatically guided car, a self-driven car, will come to your hotel or wherever you are and will bring you to the airport. No, Los Angeles is one of the cities with the heaviest traffic, who told me in 2030 Los Angeles will be private car-driven free. And this will allow to transform highways into parks and other public spheres.
The number of drones that are entering the airspace are so many that it is there aren't enough human beings in the world to train to handle those the same way we handle airliners. So AI's got to be some part of that picture. And then there's the really cosmic stuff. In fact, I can't resist doing some polls here just because you all think about it. Like, how many of you would you describe yourselves as more optimistic, on the scale of optimistic versus anxious / frightened / terrified? Like who's on team hopeful? Who's on like team optimism? Think like 20 years from now we'll be better off than we are today because of AI. All right, that was about half. What about the other end? Who would kind of align mostly on the other end? Oh, interesting. All right, so the optimists actually have it here. That's interesting. Okay, good. Good. You all know a lot about this stuff, so I hope you're right. Because there's some really cosmic questions, right, about, and you've seen the timescales that some of these work. Like the way it's been explained to me as a layperson is that, if you believe this is about speed within certain levels of processing or quote-unquote intelligence, then that's one thing. If, on the other hand, you believe that the progression is in what we might call the intelligence itself, it's actually analogous to human intelligence. And if it's actually true, and I know this is a suspect thing, but if it's actually true that there's a scale of intelligence from like an ant to the least intelligent human being to the most intelligent human being and so on, right? And if you believe that's fitted to the exponential growth that's theoretically possible with machine learning, then you could have a machine that at breakfast time is as intelligent as a chicken, and by dinner time has figured out the meaning of life. and can tell us all what to do, right? And might not bother to tell us what to do, but what if, I don't know, it's spooky, right? So I indulge in a little bit of that concern at the cosmic level, but I know that on a day-to-day level, the question of AI isn't about AI to me. It's about the things AI could help with.
The president is facing low approval ratings in a tough re-election battle. Why do you think he's in such tough shape?
Well, what I know is that we're responsible for telling a story that isn't exactly going to advertise itself. Now, I'm not going to speak to the campaign and election side because I'm here in an official capacity, but I'll say this. This administration has a lot to be proud of and has done so much good for so many people in so many parts of the country.
Speaking of the president, he still has not visited East Palestine, Ohio.
And we will be implementing an awful lot into the legislation here, and I will be out there.
I'll ask you one more. President Biden said several weeks ago that he plans to visit East Palestine. Can you update us on that? When is he going to be visiting East Palestine, and why hasn't he yet?
So the plans are underway, discussions are underway, just don't have anything locked in at this time. The president's words stand on what he shared about at some time going to visit the community.
I don't know why that is. That doesn't seem to make much sense to me. But if Congress needs pressure to get this done, why wouldn't he just go to East Palestine and use the bully pulpit the way that, Harry S. Truman would do, try to shame Congress into passing that? Why is that not even like an idea that the White House would contemplate?
I don't have any updates on the scheduling front for the White House, but what I can tell you is it shouldn't take anything more than we've already seen happen for Congress to act. I'm just interested to know what it means to examine equity in bridge maintenance.